Welcome to another episode of Sitting with Stan. This is season 4, where we bring in the legends and also the young stars of the team and see ukuthi ke labantu during their days bahlamukane kanjani and also basebenze kanjani to bring the glory days in this team and also the young stars. You will see throughout this program ukuthi sokulethela both ama legends and also the young stars, but you know the captain of this ship is the man sitting next to me. Stan, kunjani kodwa?
Sikhona njani Simtho?
Kancane nje siyancenga, ngiyabona ukuthi nanamhlanje iOrlando Pirates inaleyo lucky where every captain has a story to tell. Just take us through ukuthi namhlanje obaba lethile.
The generational captains.
Yeah.
On my right first, at the corner there, is the junior generation. Yeah, he's the current captain of the club now. Yeah. And on my right again, he came different generation. He was also the captain of the ship. And he once told me that he is the most successful captain in our team. But I'm not sure about that. He will elaborate more. And of course, in Petelini, we have jazz. Yeah, we are Godola. Yeah, Benson Mohlongo. Yeah, one of the most hardworking captains. He played in all the positions in the team.
Let's start back Kuma Legends. You had Magents as the captain, but just take us through when you select to captain as well, what qualities these players need to possess?
Well, you have to have leadership qualities. Now, when I say leadership qualities, you have a captain that is outspoken, a captain that is not scared to say, "Guye aumaki." You are not tackling, or you are not defending enough, or you are not dropping back. You want captains like that who are not scared.
Let me bring in Magents. Magents, you were part of a team that had leadership, quality players.
Yes.
In your
Gavin Yeah.
Looking at some players who are now, let's share some of the experience that you had leading that team managed to win in 1995.
Like Usho, we had the cream of the crop. You can name them: Ability, Backfish, Legs of Tada. You name them. Abo Hellman, Midnight Express. Madlala ebusuku ababoni bazobona segijigijela cross. Yeah, bambona nje masashaya cross khona bambona net uJerry. Yeah, we had the cream of the crop, but the most important thing layers ngedisa lapha. We had that thing culture ukuthi we had seniors, we had young ones, so the protocol it helped us win. What helped me as a captain, as a leader, I was confronted. It was also because as a leader, you have to climb the last branch so that you can foresee everything about pants as I.
Let me bring you, Benson, when you took over as well, being part of this brand, this big brand, there's a pressure that comes with wearing that armband. Ibinjan Leo pressure carrying armband, especially for this brand.
Yeah. I don't know how to explain to people that think during my time I had pressure. What is pressure? Pressure is the feeling that you get when you're not prepared. To me. When you are prepared, there's no word pressure. It's all about delivering. I was lucky not to feel pressure because I came to a team that it's a car. Remember, I'm born 10 Avenue, where the chairman comes from, in Alexandra. I've got support already from Alex. I come between the old generation and our generation. I was lucky to play young with older guys where I came from, Guvets. Actually the late Michel Tote, Ashley Makai, that gave me a platform to be honest. Now, what made me not to feel pressure always as Suputi Asho or Mr. Eddie Wuti, you have to climb to the last branch so that you foresee everything. So I use my fitness to overpower my teammates. I use my fitness for them to respect me. I was captained by older people before, where I've learned. From Alex, you play for your pride. Yeah, when Puma under prime baloy. So if you don't win, you lose respect.
How important is it, Brastan, for our captains as well to understand supporters and also start to make these players understand that as much as they love you, but we're here to do this job?
Yeah, sure, because kwesinye isikhathi ama would-be stars, kwesinye isikhathi bayisebenzisa kakhulu lento yabo ukuthi yena abantu bakhuza yena. Every time he has the ball, they applaud him. Now he doesn't do part of the tactics that he was told by the coach. So as a leader, he must remind him.
We've seen the legends captaining this brand. Now we're bringing in the youngsters. Innocent.
Yeah.
He's one of the youngsters. But I'm not too sure about the legend captain when he says he was skillful and beautiful. Hence, I'm not too sure. But this one, looking at the young stars, the game has changed. Pressure, do you think ikona now after these guys and also after so long, Ningatoli Silverware, to lead this team to another cup glories?
Yeah, I mean, look, when you play for a club like ours, pressure will always be there, right? You play to win every match. You play to win silverware, I'm a trophy.
Yeah.
But you know, when I was appointed to lead this team and to be the captain, my first objective was to make sure that we have a culture of trust and inspire, to make sure that everyone is free and expressive, right? Because ngenkathi zamanje akufana kudala ukuthi hey utshela umuntu direct abantu bayangala manje. Abona sikhulise ngendlela ezihlukile. So there's a time and place for that, for altercation and confrontation. So we needed to create a culture ukuthi abantu babe free and very expressive. We also know ngesikhathi samanje the social media. Everyone wants to be liked. Wonke umuntu ufuna ukuthandwa time. So besazi ukuthi we need to create a solid culture so that wonke umuntu azobe expressive and noma sidlala egroundini umuntu ayenza into akhululeke ngayo so that we can achieve our objectives with. And also the human side. So we're dealing with emotions of abantu, but also the human side. Because if you don't know who they are, then you can't lead them, right? If angazi ukuthi coach Benson uhlala then lo muntu angeke ngimlwele eground. Ama strength wabo nama weakness wabo. So I can tell easily and early ukuthi no man, there's something wrong. Namhlanje ngosibani I think ngimbuze ntwana uKren.
But he's right. Ama player wamanje, he's right when he says bamanje abasafani nakuqala. Abakudala ungaba ngumsinde the way you want. Laba bamanje, like he says, bayaduba. So he's got to have ufanele ukuthi abe nendlela yokukhuluma nabo. Kumbule bafana nale inkukhu ezimhlophe. Bona mthuthu yabona bafana inkukhu lezakudala. Lezi ezimhlophe mayithola ngiyafa. So mafuna ukwazi ukukhuluma nabo. So I'm happy to hear that from him. Then it tells me ukuthi he's a true leader. He has seen that. Ukuthi le yethu generation ile inkukhu ezimhlophe lezi asimnandanga kahle. Nokukhulume kahle naye.
And he's one of the captains abafika kule generation ya Twitter and stuff where ama supporters are access to that player. Looking at current situation in your leadership with team Nakon, you have those players Nakon. How do you guys deal nale issue ya social media, especially now?
No, lenti social media inkinga kakhulu.
Inkinga boy.
And you know, one thing that we need to be clear about, like, you can't run away from it.
Yeah.
So you can't say, no, chance in social media.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. Wonke umuntu uyayibona.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one of the ways we manage that space, we try to refocus our energies on my player and make sure ukuthi ngwenya phela Maela size la ngoba sifuna ukuwina and isikhathi esincane ukuthi abantu bathini ngaphandle loyo nje umsindo kuphela.
Yeah.
He mentioned something, Magents, ukuthi back then he managed a big squad and ama characters akhona.
Yeah.
And you remember ukuthi back then they were playing for a team, not for imali.
Sure.
These young stars,
Yeah.
bayayithola imali, Preston.
Hey.
That it's easy for them to have all social media or
Yeah,
Twitter
yeah.
and also flash that life, yeah. But kuyingozi kangakanani ke Preston of these players,
Yeah.
ukuthi ba expose everything in these socials.
Yeah, yeah, you have said a mouthful. You know, money, money to these young stars. Yes, yes. Iningi, man. Iningi, unlike this other generation. They had money, but bebakwazi ukuyisebenzisa. Now, this generation, I'm not sure. Some of them, they know how to look after the money. Because when you have money, you have to know how to manage it. Nakhona. Ingaba iningi, but if you can't manage it, izokhathaza. Because manje usuthenga yonke into ongafuneki uyithenge. Uyabona uthenga into zamadlebe lezi zamadlebe, uthenga enye into manje nini uthenga iTV edlula ibioskop, uthenga inguzuma nje ye-TV. Yeah, ithi uma uqeda uthenga inguzuma futhi yemoto. Uyayizwa yonke lento. The day alimala ebholweni, because football is a contact sport. Because some injuries you can heal. Some injuries they take time to heal. And then nini nala eklabhini bayakubheka phela ukuthi engathi akapholi naye lo muntu. Hayi so we 2 years manje akapholi. Kusho bona abantu bebhola.
Awusho.
Hayi akusho mina sengisho nje abantu bebhola mawungapholi.
Magents mawuthole ambele. Bebekhafa mali no Preston.
Lalela, ithi kubuyele kancane emuva kule social media because it's very sensitive lena. I always ngiyabatshela labafana ke Maela boys. Like he said, you cannot run away from it. But into ibalulekile, the most important thing, into ibhalayo. What I'm trying to say, boy, but good lama talks on media. Ubatshele, it is fine, you can go there, but always put nice pictures, Zako, scoring a goal, nice defending. Balint is positive. People will be positive. But if you become negative, they'll become arrogant. Imali, well, it's good. I mean, I'm happy, but totally Imali right. So that it can better their life going forward. If they save. I always encourage them with them must save. A big car, I don't have a problem. But as long as this is budgeted. But save was save what thing for 1 million. What I'm gonna buy December from January, I'm gonna put 100 aside. It's okay, it's budgeted. It's not gonna hamper your isquam. But if we from nowhere, so we need
Totally signing on fee.
Yeah, totally signing on fee thing no. Because the motor is waiting.
One day.
So anything that is budgeted for is okay. So it's good for Labafana Batuli Mali, Babe right, but somebody need to encourage them to save the money, to invest. Not in cars, but in proper things like property, into that will generate more money when you come to sell.
But it's not easy, man. Somebody has to encourage them. You can't encourage anyone.
Yeah.
You can only advise.
Yeah.
But enayo, umtshela umuntu ena 2 million ungenayo wena. But he was not there at your time.
And was bathini it? Was it big it bathini? But hi man, lo muntu ufuna ukutshela ngemali yami yena uyidlile. Iphelile manje seyufuna ukukhiphela istress kimi. Yeah, yakiphelile and mina zange ngabana nemnyuku.
But you played between the two generations.
Yeah.
When Benson, where in football we were starting to get paid imali ethe ukubonakala as well.
Yes.
Did you see any change, especially kuma players ike manje osubona ukuthi athola imali, and also leading lawo ma players behavior yabishintshe kanjani?
Yeah, it started with our generation to get money and change. I still blame our age.
Mina futhi.
Honestly, we were made. There were rules that were made for us. They made rules for us. Even if in there are things I couldn't do. Maybe corporal punishment changed the whole spectrum of how to discipline a person.
Yeah.
I knew where can I sit. I knew where can I go. I knew there are places. So those rules made me to be the person that I am. Even though I wanted to buy a car, but you explain with me. I must explain. Like shoes, I must explain the late shoes with one tell them what. Oh, we said a move for the motor. Eshmakaya, I didn't tell what we tell the motors so glad. They were there for us. Now, our AD went now, but Suzuans and our fun, and they gave us freedom. Because we were not freedom. We took the freedom.
Yeah.
So my job was that difficult because manje ngidlala no Tiko, kuno Opa. Mina ngambe ngemoto 1970, ayithi mina ngikhulisa abo 80. Nani yale moto yakudala, Cresida ngemJojo. Le ntwana ize inento bayibizani
Ba series la
ungakhuluma imoto yana ezincane.
IBM enguzo.
Maserati lo khuluma imoto ezincane.
Yeah.
Umuntu bengayiqala uzoyithenga. Yes, i-teammate yakho ungena eMaserati. Kunalama manje ababona ukuthi okushuthi ayangibhadala. It's not about the most. So iletha ne skills esalayo.
Yeah.
Ukuthi ngiyamakela ngishayithekile mina. Ngumthi bantu ngishayithekile. Esibali bangibiza sibali. Kamaka mosibali. Kirinto ke sponsor. Ara ngibhadala. Sheba ke byang, sheba ke. O clean, ukukora fela. Utsaba amezera ke no. Akere uthosi McDonald's. Are not works I told. Yeah. It change you separate man.
Yeah.
Because seka jumpis with loan mali. Long at kholo kudlula. You understand? So I think if freedom no ukuthi kungabi ne rule. Yeah, I don't say it's discipline, but ipage. If kungaba ne rule yokuthi spaka imoto laphana, maybe mele kupaka imoto same bathathwe ngebus to avoid this
Tension.
this dialogue, intention. So now mina what made ukuthi bangayispend kangakho, although it made a little bit of groups, but bebabancane laba bebayi4 abakhona ngithathe a chunk.
Yeah.
We used to spend time together. Master chief asina choice ehlala one. Now kunalento abantu abangaunderstand. Masendane one angeke as gentlemen you stay the whole day. Nje nibhekene emehlweni unless you something else. Sporekile then saqala senzani sithenga amabhi. Look, it's not a good thing, but I know good if asihlali la omunye uzohamba want someone's girlfriend ngizozi phone call ukuthi hey intwana yakho bayifuna ngesibhamu. If you're not together lo sakabe ne group wrong. If you're not together at that moment lo sekabamthengisa something. So I had to ukuthi sizambla no, let's watch our game. So we spend most time together.
If you look at these players now, Brighton, these players have endorsements.
Yeah.
The people spend a lot of money in these players, apart from getting paid every month.
Yeah.
Winning MTN 8, where a team decide to go to at least a city players.
Yeah.
You have incentives, you have your salary, you have sponsors coming in. difficult kangakanani to manage yonke leyo mali, especially when leading le team efana ne-Pirates?
No, good difficult kakhulu. Njengoba bashilo amakhurudmani, like we are lucky to be playing in this generation, right? Because I mean we're getting paid well.
Yeah.
Hayi imali encane.
Malini? Asikhulume ivarpa. Kufanele sikhulume ngento esiyazi ngoPresident. Eyakho yayiphindwa kangaki mawucabanga la?
Mina yami bengayikhuluma the whole day. Bengazi.
So how do you manage ke leyo mali engako efika at once kuwena?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, you need to educate your mind, right? You need to teach yourself about money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't know what you have, you don't know how to look after it. And if you don't know how to look after it, then you'll mess around and lose it. So the first thing you need to educate your mind, you need to teach yourself about money. Was with the, how do the rich stay rich and how do the poor, continue staying poor. So you need to apply those principles upon your life. Uzifundise man, uthatha isikhathi uthenga incwadi, ngene exclusive books and buy a book, funda so that you know ukuthi okay, le direction engihamba ngayo kahle wrong. So like one of the ways to manage your money is you must make sure that you spend less, than the money that you're saving. So your saving ratio must be high and your spending must be low. Mina time ake benginenhlanhla ngoba ngidlale ku the lower division isikhathi before ngize like Pirates. So I used to survive ngemali encane. So ukufika kwami ku-Pirates ngoba sengidlule isikhathi I was like akutshintshe next.
Ubuyele kaningi.
Akutshintshe ngisuke ithanda Royal Zulu.
Ubuyele kaningi ukuthanda Royal Zulu.
Ngibuyele kaningi. So for me I was lucky because benginaleyo teaching, you understand. So bengazi ukuthi ngale mali le I can survive for 30 days. Le mayingena ngiyayibeka. So you can imagine the gap. Le ngisurvive ngayo nale ngisaveayo. So I mean, that is how I try to manage my money. And the more advice, abantu ababoni, because ingqondo yabo still understand. So you need to educate.
Bebehola labantu President kwithanda.
Yeah, but no bebehola mara
hayi kwithanda bebehola.
Yeah, bebehola mara bebengaholi le.
Sekola
Mara ke boy, do you discuss among your teammates regarding this money issue?
Yeah. Sakhuluma ngayo time. We do discuss these issues. Siyazama ukubonisana. Maybe masithola ama-signing on fee and then player X so sakathenga le kari enkulu. And then uyamtshela ukuthi hey my bra, in 30 games udlala 14 games like i-status sakho siphezulu but in reality understand impilo yakho iphansi. Ungaphili kule gama lakho ngoba zambelani lezi zinto. Understand. So siyabonisana but it's difficult time njengoba usho ukuthi imali yakhe. So umuntu uyambonisa abona ngathi no unomona or ufila otherwise because i-club yazama ukuletha ama-financial advisor. But ngena ngapha iphuma ngapha.
Yeah, sure.
Bayabaletha. No, they try to help us. Abasiyeki. Lento bosho abasiyeki. Bayazama ukufaka ama-rules but ekugcineni imali yakho.
While is mentioning that President, you have these players having this money ezakalula kubona bayazi ukuthi la every day ama-egos akhona etimini. You have the legends ababedlala nje just for a brand here, Orlando Pirates as well. Looking at these youngsters as well, do you think bayayithatha into consideration? Looking at these players, ushilo uBenson ukuthi you find a player odlala few games, but hayi imali madoda, hayi imali. Do you think ukuthi are we doing enough to teach these youngsters ekutheni invest? Save le mali.
Well, I will talk for Orlando Pirates. Like he rightly said, they do send advisors, and then they do send the guys who are investing, the investors. These guys about good you must invest kanje. But again, on the other hand, like he rightly said, it's not easy. Umuntu ngakhuluma naye, umuntu ngama-advisor, but mayeceda ukusuka kuwe. Uyabona net nje mayingangena emotweni ucabanga i-yellow bone yakhe. Ya wena no. Ucabanga uyothatha umuntu wakhe
Instagram. Ngena Instagram.
Kungena Instagram.
Yellow bone.
Ine-trouble lento yama-yellow bone ngoba ngeke ube nawo isikhathi eside.
We're not done with that issue. Because I want to bring him in as well. If you look at these players now, Brighton, they have money, they have Amantombazane,
My
and
yellow
the issue,
bone.
I'm a yellow bone,
Yeah.
and the issue of alcohol as well. But Eddie, during your time, you had Double McFish, you had Double Kevin Lane.
Yeah.
At that time, ungasho ukuthi you were playing for a brand.
Yeah.
But there were instances where you find Brighton, these guys do have an access to alcohol, asaz ganja. The issue of alcohol, Brighton, not only in football, but in sport general, bayakwazi ukuba ne-access kubona. Eddie, during your days, uba benhlupha kakhulu, apart from now ngiyazi ukuthi ubowushaya kancane, but oba ecampini obowazi ukuthi mase soshaya usibanibani nosibanibani will be there.
Mina bengishaya, but I was moderate. Yabo.
Mawuthi moderate kanje,
Kusho ukuthi I was responsible.
uphuza kodwa.
Bengiphuza constructively.
Abara goes charge.
We were told.
As you were drinking.
Yeah, I was drinking. So I had my friend, not to be share. Bengishare my friend who fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, bengimizo happy. Bobhekile ufana no happy zindalo uyabona. Bengimizo happy.
Yeah.
Ngithi happy. Today how much? Or how many? I just bring 12. Ngithi you are mad. I bring 6. Uyabona.
Bekuphelele campaign manphuza, or you still guys after the game?
Yeah, then after the game,
Yeah.
then is willy. Laphana bengana ndaba. Whether it's 12, it's 24. But into nice like my learned friend, we need to be one place. But see one place, nabo innocent nqango nabo sihlala one place, siphuze sikhuzane sicorrectane re gopotsane gore hey gents, tomorrow is training, don't forget.
You leading these players, Benson, ezibane access to alcohol, where you will hear stories about them. I-access ye-alcohol ecampini, because ecampini bengangeni lutho. Mase nehotela lapha nodlala bengangeni, but i-access benithola kanjani to alcohol nisecampini?
Ukuphuza mina ngicale kuvethu. Abelungu bayaphuza.
Yeah.
Abelungu. Oh, before game. Ngithi beer before game bengiphuza. I was 20. We talking about 2000. I was 20. So abelungu bebaphuza. After game,
Vale.
ngiyaphuza. So I didn't see any problem. My father, the late George Louis, uyaphuza, John Clare, Umel Groove, ngihlana belungu. So ngikhula blacks and whites, ngiyaphuza. Ekhaya umcombo ngiyaphuza. So there's no problem. But you don't drink before work. Thina besihlupha after game, not before match.
So chunili span.
Masesiqeda, maswinile kulapho ke bo siwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, masesiwinile siwest. Bese ngicela nakahle coach uthi we can't make morning training session.
Yeah.
Sicela afternoon. Bese mtshela straight thina sicela afternoon.
Ngo-Monday.
Mawufuna ekseni, angeke sibe khona.
You know, alcohol eyamanje neyakudala angathi ayifani.
Kanjani, Brighton?
Angazi man, for some reason le yamanje ngathi strong man.
Amosta.
Yeah, ngathi strong le yamanje ngoba irafa ayiplayer man, ihlephule player man.
Ikhona incident, Brighton, oyikhumbulayo where there was a case eyeza etimini about certain players beshayi.
There's a player bebathi uMabizela.
OJ.
Yeah,
OJ.
One of the best players I've ever seen. And they even took him over to Tottenham Hotspurs in London. That boy was magic in terms of football. And the beginning simple. He was just doing basics, but he was so good. So Umabizela, we were in the national team. I was happening to have been a manager then. So he was supposed to be there on 5. So 5 o'clock, I'm checking the list. Hey, who's my man? I'm talking to securities. So and so, yeah, but yeah, so figure about standing at the batike, la baba figure boy, baba tika. Man, lens hansi. hey akuthikwanga lapha ngithi hey man uMabizi bathi hayi President ngathi akakafiki ngithi akakafiki kanjani man but no akafiki ngithi oh okay mara ngitsheli coach the coach then boku Shakes Mashaba angimtsheli ukuthi hey man ngathi Mabizela akekho uthi hey man President bafelethe ke 100% kutsho mina
Yeah.
ngisaba ukuthi hey man le Mabizela ke ngithi no bafelethe boy bafelethe yeah ni u8 manje ebusuku ngithi jar mara le ntwana man ngifone futhi ngifonela lo hamba la hey boy kanti nikuphi man athe President siyangena manje ningena nini mawuthi niyangena mawuthi manje ufuna bese niyangena mawuthi siyangena manje kube seniyangena no sengisho ukuthi sisendleleni uhamba nomunye wakubo ngale ya mari nini ngabo 9 moto manje sengime ngaphandle ngisaba uShakes na ngoba nje nele President mangisaba uShakes mina ngime ngaphandle na manje ngiyayibona le imoto le endingi ethi hey ulele ngaphakathi angiboni mara ukuthi kune player ngaphakathi ngibona lo muntu uthi President sesikhona ngithi uJohn mathi no nangula ngithi oh okay babhaka babaqeda ukubhaka hey ngiyabona ukuthi akekho man akamnandanga manje ngithi boy ngathi amnandanga kahle athi hey uyamona umuntu ophuzile uthi hey President ngimnandanga mani you right nangu uyena lo ngihamba naye ngithi hey boy man hey small lesi man bese ngiyofuna idokotela masinyane hey doctor umukayi bokukhona udokotela bathi udoktor Mtawu yeah ngithi ukayi no ngithe imula udimo ke alright ke ahla no ngikhuphuke nalentwana nini Maela phana ngithi man awethe something akithi village ajwang into tsabo doctor hlabantwane man yeah and then nakitla etsa something ndakitla ilo ujwetsa mshekesheke ntwane ikare na li tonsil so wena wethe something ngiyehle futhi ngiyakushakes manje ngenhlanhla yeah amabonga ama players sebaphelele manje ba kune team talk ngiyokhuluma manje nomshekere aphuma ngithi ntwana inali tonsil no kithe udoctor ayibone then nekufela haqeda utlayitlisa yeah man ayikhi sebaqedile msithimtho ka President ntwane kirino ntwane mani mntongi so ihlabile injection yawo kidla mo ntwane Roberts hayi hlabu ke yabona uyihlabile 20 no strong nti uRoberts man now imagine lying to the coach because now I'm scared good now if this boy unje obviously they are sending him back Shakes ke ngoba uyangilalela wangilalela ke ukuthi no umfana one mara ekseni umntokisi futhi wamhlaba futhi udoctor ukuthi abe right impela yeah you know the following day saying ngisho masiyodlala he was man of the match angazi kanjani but Mabizela was man of the match mara angazi kanjani
but as captains Makhanja you know very well ukuthi alcohol is not allowed. A technical team rely on you guys ekutheni uSbanibani is drunk. As President said ukuthi wa protect certain players. Was there an incident where you had to protect ama players akho now at that time?
I don't know if uzomkhumbula timer. Yes, press cream, I think Eddie can say press cream. Because she made a baba, like baba, literally baba, yes, baba, literally. There are things as in the Angenzelles on our squad. So me before me fear go Pirates, there are manage a squad. There are things Angenzelles on. Ben Klupanam. But it's up to you to choose to change, so that your career can be long. So I've decided to change. Not with being opposed. I used to drink Posofi Fates, but I changed because this road gonna lead me to disaster.
From this generation to that generation in Motale. Now you can see President everything is accessible kulaba. There are stories aphuma etimini. Omunye umfana nemthathile namisa eThekwini. Onalawo ma issues alcohol as well. Lawo ma stories anjalo nakhona angafiki aseqhamuka on newspapers. Bakhona lawo ma players kwi team noma ukuthi benazi but beningafuni futhi ukusho ku-team?
Kuyahluka. You find sometimes ukuthi there are players that we know, and because we know, we try to help, we try to advise as much as you can. And then there are certain players where nathi we are shocked.
You help or you protect?
We help.
Oh.
We help. You talk to them. We am sharing with Norma, man. As a chief mixing. You get a lento yinza. You understand? You would move figure like a test and then we thinking. And then there are players where you find nathi masivukexeni asazi kwenzakali.
Yeah.
Kunzima because manje laba into yabo manje banane kusekuneyimoto bathi ama-Uber. Yeah, ngithi uyayithola imoto ikhona. Mara yena akekho.
Eddie, back then, ingane bezize groundini zonibuka.
Ngazela.
Beyingekho le ye-social media back then. Do you think also that change industry ke manje being ama-player focuser ekuthena egroundini ayodlala, now you tend to focus kule social media, banemali vele ingane ziyabazi. Do you think ishintshe kakhulu industry ye-football usukubona labafana social media?
Because since leto yo democracy ukuthi ubani unama-rights thina the all FNB ubrastel uzokutsheba kuda i-tunnel besingena i-tunnel sipaka ngapha ngokubathola nje masiphuma bame sure omunye ame nje straight ekareni
Elinde wena.
Ekareni yakho ame kanje. Yeah. You understand? Well, mina ngoba I'm handsome, I'm lookable. Bengasheli bebavele bangishela. Ngisaza so. Baloku bangishela ke mina ngibheka ukuthi ngithatha ngani. Yeah. But we had that discipline ngoba we had ama elders, ama senior players. Laba bazos-coach. Ukuthi hayi boy angeke.
La khona la nje
lo mntwana ngiyamazi. Bekajola neBrighton or noSibanibani. You can't.
But Stanley, back then, ngesikhathi sabo Magents, indaba yokukhempa emahotela wasn't there.
No.
Indaba yokuthi we going to eDurban namhlanje sosibuye ibivela kancane. But in this generation, ubusuyibona leyo transition uthola ukuthi bayahamba baye eThekwini bayahamba baye Cape Town. How difficult is it for a captain now to make sure that these players, they have a Nedbank Cup final at Moses Mabhida Stadium? Maswina la pasi buya nenyuku vele. As a captain, going to that final, leading that team, how do you keep those players at 10 grounded? We're going there to play the final and come back as a captain.
Well, it depends on the captains. Ukuthi manje yena, how does he communicate with his teammates? Because winning, it's something else. Man winile, you know, kuba mnandi from niphume groundini, from ushawa, from cabanga ama teammates wakho omunye uzongena ejabule, you know. Ayikho ifeeling edlula ukuwina. I know and I hope and I still believe he's a true leader. He understands winning. He has tasted ukubamba trophy. He knows ukuthi ukubamba trophy into enjani.
Yabona mase campaign thina. Whether it's league game or it's cup game, I'll ask Makab because I was very close to Makab. Berangtanda because I was like vocal and like I said I was confronting. I'll go to him. I said, Coach, it's Friday. Can you give me as a leader? Give me the program of the day, of tomorrow and Sunday, if we're coming back Sunday. And then I'll take that program, Nise Gubachit. Tshabalala kusasa 8 o'clock is breakfast. What is pre-match meal? What? So much it they know. So that I'm avoiding ama run around. Sifuna Sibanibani athi mina ngise caffeine bengiyothenga amazimba chips. You understand? So on a Friday, I've got a program of the day. Yeah, tomorrow. With the chance ekseni is breakfast. Everybody go breakfast 8 o'clock. Seated, siyadla. 11 o'clock pre-measurement. 1 o'clock sengene passing or sichencha or sichenche grounding.
A team, when it's doing well, you're winning trophies and you have women following you and
Yeah.
and niyadlala vele kuyaziwa ukuthi you're playing for a big brand which is Orlando Pirates.
Yeah.
You are captain now, leading this team.
But you show up a concubine or
Let's just say amantombazane.
okay.
Leading this team enalabo players abahandsome. Obviously amachera khona.
Yeah.
How do you control that? Because coaches, technical team rely on you ukuthi ugade laba.
Bengicela ukulungisa le nto le.
Lungisa.
Hayi abafazi. Bafazi abanankinga. There are men behind those ladies. And asibanaki. They are the ones that have the connection. They are the ones that will come and offer to be chauffeur wako. Imagine also no drive. How nice is that? Enjoy umuntu yamthuma uyekuphi yabuya.
No, asikhulumi nge-incident oyaziyo, asingakhavi yonke.
Sikhuluma abafazi.
Let's just say on this day ngisadlala mina kwenzeka ukuthi nokuthi.
No,
So we can understand.
No, unfortunately, if you look at me, ukhuluma umuntu discipline.
Yeah.
So I can't say on this day mina kanjani.
Ethimini.
Bebangizonda, mina bengizondo. Bebangithandi. Mina bangithemba ngenze nisi, bangathandiwa totally.
Ubawa kwaMpembe.
Angibimbani ngiyatrapa.
Ubawa kwaMtrap.
Bonke.
Kwenzekani?
Wenzakani? So dlala ifinal nina nibukhela abantu. Phela ngithi uyabazi mase sidle lapho uyabheka lapho ukuthi hayi man nabanye yabazi. Ay man skimsa lapho. Ayisukile.
Preston, you understand the issues of these players, alcohol, women, stuff. Nizama kanjani to bring these players to the ground with timber focus on what they're doing, because that story almost ended the career of those players.
Yeah.
Yeah, iqiniso. That's why I need to get eklabheni kuyazanywa. That's why I say mabeze training kunento abayifuthayo. Le bayibiza ukuthi iphephethe.
Yeah.
Yeah, bayaphephetha bofu. And then babona ukuthi hey lo mfana lo ungabe kanjani manje akasafayinwa sesimbhale ephepheni simfayina uzofayinwa yena mara uyabona musemsebenzini mawuzoxoshwa emsebenzini mawugangile bathi first
Verbal warning.
yeah bathi first warning
Yeah.
kuzaba ne2 kuzaba ne3
Yeah.
and then mase kuyi3 nathi sithi ngathi uyahlupha lo muntu yeah phela sonama-warning amaningi either uyalonwa futhi or uyathengiswa.
As a captain, you need to know labafana. Bakhona laba we got experimental. Laba bafika eJozi. Laba babuya ngale elaleni bafika eJozi now they want to be
Baphuma lePolokwane.
yeah
Kasla.
bafika ku experimental. Ukhona laba beloku baphuza. Ba moderate. Laba ba abusive. Yabo, so you need to know ukuthi lo abusive, loku moderate, loku experimental ngoba ubuya ePolokwane makhopa ubuya ePolokwane akazitshwala seyabututsa la. So ifanele ba advise ukuthi okay it's fine. Yabo, ukuphuza is not a smash but you need to be responsible before game. Asiphuzi ndoda. We focus on the game ngoba utshwala buzohlala bukhona. So you need to ukhulume nabo uthi lalela ndoda mina I can't say stop but drink responsibly. Then bazo understand.
It's nice what he's saying. These are new generations. You guys been there. And the game is ishintshe kakhulu. These are wise words from Magents. Your thoughts and what you can advise him as a leader looking at this current team now. How would you advise him leading these players? Asho ukuthi phuza phela. How?
Unfortunately, he's got the toughest generation because of the things that I have access to. Thina if ubathathile uhlala nabo eparkini ucedile ngabo. Lo muntu eparkini angabizi Uber separkini. So the toughest generation is dealing with. But ikhaya nganamthetho is bound to be broken by anyone. If there are no rules and you're gonna stick by those rules, anything can creep in. We are lover. Uzutagiwe. You don't play. Uzaye officini complain uthi yes akuzona, you don't play. There was one time, bengiyacoshwa. What happened is that when we train, they will baphethe papalaza ngitabanye. They didn't sleep. They will jog maybe a meter behind. Any exercise we do, they are behind.
Yeah.
And you know, we believe who's behind is an elder.
Yeah.
Cartel, not a youngster. So you know, we find the young people running behind, and I stop the training session about Tosh. Stadium. About Tosh Bonk at the Pumanda Stadium. But you as a Zelani, Hambad. Hey, as my baby's chairman, Lobab. So
But
second, two pirates.
So what would be your advice to him?
Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to other teammates that are honest. Unfortunately, you'll lose good players, but if you're going to lie to yourself, you will never win any trophy. That's what I can tell you.
In conclusion, Stan, looking at these captains, abanye lead a very troublesome players.
Right.
Who send a chance to rectify that. Says Valanje. What would you like to say to him, Usuzwili Dori, from both captains?
No, I'm just happy because he's been invited here to come and listen to the older stage guys, this generation of coaches. He understands. Fortunately is that he understands and he's more mature now. Ogutumanje, what it is to be a leader. He wants to better himself as well to be one of the best leaders. He wants to leave a good legacy as a captain. So he has heard what these two captains have. They have led different cultures, or different generation of players. He's led different generation of players. He's now leading the most difficult generation of players now. Like I earlier said, Laba Bamanje, they book Napezu. They book here
4 and 8.
Bukela 8th floor. So he's leading one of the toughest generations now because now Futukune Mali. Now they can also. He's not coming with the lady to the camp. They have Ubers. Tadi Uber tumeli Uber ilanda leya muntu imlete lapha 8th floor or imfake opposite hotel. Manje. Akamthathi ngemoto yakhe. No, mayenze ngemoto yakhe. No, he comes with his car afika park. Uyambona ukhona. But awazi ukuthi lo omunye ufike kanjani because lama Uber.
Abantwana bama Uber. But I'm happy he's here. I'm happy he has understand. He really understands ukuthi manje what it is to be. You're carrying this badge enkulu kakhulu, not only in South Africa but across the world. And nginesho kuningi that you took from these gentlemen who have achieved a lot with Pirates as well.
Thank you so much, Taiba, for the invitation. I mean, for me to be here to absorb all this wisdom, you know, I can only walk away a better man, a better footballer, and a better captain. So this opportunity, I mean, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And look, I mean, he coached Tanda, he coached Gupi.
Not coach, he captain.
I mean, he captain, sorry, he captain with Bang, what. And I wish him all the best. And I wish him to lift the second trophy, like Stan said it. He already lifted the first one. I wish him to lift the second one, boy. And I mean, I had to believe when you were appointed, I was asked with you, do you think, it's not a matter of thing. I've seen leadership skills and qualities. Even though I know you're not vocal. You're not like that person. But I trusted your leadership and your skills. So that's why I believe. When I was interviewed, when you were appointed, I said, that's the right person. You understand? And you never disappointed. On and off the field, you've been yourself, you're being a lead. Look, you don't buy to be lead. You are born to be lead. Benson will tell you. I know. I've talked to him when he became Captain Parrot. I was always on his back. He'll tell you. I'll call him every day. We like it the same. We happy the same. Because I'm that person who always want to see this team do better. You understand?
Thank you so much, Prasten, for inviting these legends and also the young stars, because we're trying to blend, especially they've been there, they've done it. So these young stars, they need to understand, Uguti, from this, they carry this badge to another level.
Thank you very much. No, thank you very much. Thank you once more, gents, for gracing this sitting with Stan. I'm sure even tomorrow when we invite you, especially you, one of the DJs of these countries. Thank you very much.
Yabona Prasten, sesirefilile Prasten. And we spoke about alcohol. This is not alcohol, Prasten.
No. It is.
But I thank you so much for this episode, Prasten, and to these young players. We're looking forward to another great season. And also, Prasten, the good job that you guys are doing. And we say thank you, Prasten.
Thank you.
And for the invitation. And cheers.
Cheers, man. Hey,
cheers.
I like your shoes, Prasten.
Looking at this job of coaching, I think it comes with a lot of pressure. I just want you guys to explain to us the pressure that comes with this job.